Okay, so it's Journal 10. This time I'm going to be talking about the text chapter 9. Actually, you know what? It's not Journal 10, excuse me. It's Journal number 11. My bad. The Grunland text, marriage and family. So chapter 9 is called Living and Growing Together, and basically it's about marriage and committed relationships, which I'm really, really interested in. I really like the information that he cited about John Gottman and some of the different, how John Gottman did this study and how with a pretty high accuracy rate he could, watch couples and then be able to tell them through just their interaction, predict whether they would stay together or get divorced, which I think is pretty amazing that he could do it. So that's why I have this really cheesy heart background from a video. I'm getting kind of tired of the regular ones. So even though it's really cheesy, and it's probably not very professional, I thought it was very fitting, talking about marriage and love and yada yada. So yes, I'm a big fan of Gottman. I have one of his books in my own library, but I think it's like the 7 principles to or keys to like a lasting or marriage or something. It's not any of the ones referenced in this textbook, but I've found it interesting. I also, love some of his ideas about the different types of communicators that we are. The validators, the avoidance, the volatiles. And I was trying to think of which one, my husband and I are. But I have to be honest, I'm not really sure yet. I think I might be a certain type and he might be a different type. So I don't really know how that goes in the mix. Um, but that being said, I think communication is really important uh, for a married couple or a committed couple. I feel like without decent communication and working to improve your communication, that um, your relationship's probably not going to be the best, because part of the relationship with someone else is going through life with them, and to really go through life with somebody you need to be able to communicate. um, I really liked the idea of the reflective listening. I think it's really great. I've used it with a couple of my clients before. Another thing that I really like to use with couples and communication are I statements. And I didn't see it in the text, but that's a great, I've used it with individuals, with families, with couples, in, group classes, especially anger management. And, we do talk about relationships a lot in there. So I think those are some great tools. And, I've tried to use them in my own life. Of course, if my husband knew, sometimes he says, don't, use all your counseleries on me. Let's just be real and regular. But I have to admit that I try to, practice some of the things that I learn, because I, want to have good communication too. And the last thing that I really like that Grunland talks about, of course, he integrates my faith and Christianity, which I think is the most important part of a marriage and a committed relationship, is the God part. I know that, those people who don't believe in God, or, a lot of other people don't think that faith is that important. But to me it is. And I love the triangle illustration that he has, that as the husband and wife get closer together, they kind of go in a diagonal, and the hope is that you get closer to God, to Christ. Um, and so I feel like that while we talk about in a systems theory and all that kind of stuff, that triangles can be negative, but this is a really positive triangle. And I hope, to help people so that they can become that positive triangle. So that's about all I have this week for this one. Thanks.